These videos will make you question everything. So remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Just check it out.
You want to hear a social media conspiracy theory?
I do.
I just had a massage, so I'm feeling pretty relaxed. Okay, I saw this conspiracy theory on Twitter/X, and the more time goes on, the more it makes sense. The theory is that Twitter is the social media platform that is most likely to take down governments, to organize mass protests and really mobilize the people to make change. And the conspiracy theory is that billionaires don't like that, because billionaires pretty much control our government, right? So the conspiracy theory is that Elon Musk bought Twitter purposely to run it into the ground. Yeah, he's losing a lot of money, probably not that much money to him, but him and all the other billionaires want him to take it down because it's a good thing for billionaires. Sounds insane, but honestly, the more time goes on, I'm like, maybe. You want to hear a social media?
Honestly, she's right about that by saying the more time you sit there and think about it, either your mind is going to force it to make sense to you or it just automatically starts making sense to you. Why else would somebody take on something like that and continuously lose money? Has Twitter gotten better? Has he come in, besides the big firing and everything like that, restructure, whatever you want to call it, what has Twitter done? Is it any different? I know they were tossing out possible, subscriptions or something. You have to pay for something. That's all I've heard, other than he's losing money. So when she says something like that and you stop and you sit back and you kind of toss it around in your brain, if Twitter was the platform to take down the government, then they send Elon in to kind of stop that from happening. Then it makes sense, bro.
I spent 6 years working for Google and Twitter and Facebook, and I want to talk to you today about this. So what you're seeing on your feed is probably everything about Israel, Palestine, people's opinions, boycotts, all of that stuff. Now, this post is not about telling you about the war, but I want to talk to you about what you are seeing. Hate is really, really lucrative. Yes, the more you see hate,
Facts.
the more money companies are making.
Facts.
This has been proven time and time again. The reason that you're seeing more and more and more hate is to get you engaging, to sell ad money. What you think you are seeing as reality is actually just the algorithm. This is actually kind of the entire plot of Succession. It's called The Bigot Spigot. And there's a really good chance that the people you're seeing online aren't even real people. This is a well-known strategy of cultural warfare. Media outlets make a lot of money from this. After Donald Trump was no longer president, there was a huge hemorrhaging of money for newspapers like the New York Times. That's because hate sells really, really well. Here's the thing. We have a phrase in the tech industry. If the product is free, you are the product. So while you're too busy arguing on the internet and learning to hate your neighbor, there are executives that are making hundreds of millions of dollars off of you. The most ironic thing is that us deciding to hate one another is the farthest thing from bringing peace. I spent 6 years working for Google and Twitter.
I so much agree with this, and it's so obvious, but it seems like they keep hitting us with the same play. Like in sports, you think if somebody runs the same exact play, we get hit to it, right? We'll figure out the offense, and then we'll formulate our defense to kind of stop that play. They can't keep running that same play on us. When in fact, this is what is happening to us. The business of hate. Controversy sells. And they keep running this same and using this same formula. It's sickening. It's disgusting. You see it and you're like, oh my gosh. But you hear more people speaking up today about it than ever before. You know what I mean? They got these shows that's based around nothing but hate. They be on there fighting, they be on there doing different things, and they put it out, and that's their product, and it sells. These girls sign up for these shows, and they're going there looking for confrontation. I'm like, what? Seriously. Remember, World Star, if you walking down the street and you hear somebody shout World Star, you're automatically going in defense mode and throw your hands up and try to figure out what's going on and try to make sure you're not the victim of a World Star. Remember that? That went crazy. TMZ, that goes crazy. All of that hate, controversy, and different things like that sells. It seems like now that's what the algorithm seeks out. And if it can find that, it knows that it can blow that post up, and it can make money off of it, and you can make money off of it.
I have a couple conspiracies for some things that are going to happen over the next couple months, or maybe by the end of the year. One, and this is not based on any fact, but just my gut feeling. One, I think they're going to ban TikTok. Obviously, it's in the news that they're thinking about it. I think it's going to happen.
Still hasn't
happened. It doesn't. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like it's going to. And two, I feel like they're doing all this as a means to stop people from being social influencers and force them to get a real job to help the economy. And I'm putting all that in quotes because I don't agree with that. But I think that's what this whole ordeal is about, because the logic behind it just doesn't make sense, which most things in the government doesn't make sense. But I feel like since 2020, a lot of people have stopped working the typical 9 to 5 because there's not a lot of money in it. And people have found other ways to make money, such as being on social media. But big platforms such as Facebook and Instagram have already stopped one of the major payment avenues for their influencers, such as the Reels bonus programs, which were paying pretty good money. Really upset to see that go. And then I don't know, I can't speak on behalf of all brands, but I know one major brand that I was working with as an ambassador sent me an email the other day saying that they were no longer going to offer commission on things, which was basically the main way that we got paid as their ambassadors. So I don't know, I'm just getting this icky feeling that people are trying to stop the whole make money as a social influencer thing, which sucks. Number 3, I predict that the economy will crash. May not be right away, but eventually it will crash as soon as student loan payments start back. And this is not an argument of whether you think people should get forgiveness for student loans. As someone who has $80K in student loan debt, whoa, I think that people should get some student loan forgiveness.
$80K?
That's a video for another time. But regardless, I just feel that way because I know for a lot of people, they've been able to pay for all these things that cost more in general, like groceries, because they haven't had to pay these student loan payments. Now, obviously, this isn't going to really make much of a difference for people who don't have student loans, but I would say that a majority of us do have at least some. And that minimum payment that you're gonna have to start making might cause some damage. So those are my predictions. Save this, come back to it later, and see if I'm right. Hopefully I'm wrong about the first part, but I feel 99% confident about the last part.
Bro, $80K in student loan debt? Real question here for y'all, man. How high is your student debt? Is hers because I don't know where to even gauge 80K. 80K to some people could be like, man, that's nothing. I wish I had that. I got more than that. Or are y'all below that? Because 80K to me just seems crazy. Oh my gosh. Now, back to what she was saying in the beginning about the government possibly shutting down some of these apps to try to get people to go back to work in the economy. I can definitely see that happening. I could see them maybe not so necessarily shutting them down, but putting pressure on them. Putting pressure on them to do certain things that in result would push people away from these apps and different things like that and force them to go back to the workforce. Because a lot of people are leaving the workforce. They done figured this thing out. You know what I mean? And what you have to be careful for is the movement of the goalposts. The goalposts will at some point be moved and try to change. And just like anything else, we're going to have to adapt. You know what I mean? If you're not a person who likes to adapt, then it's going to be tough for you. We got to figure it out. We all going to have to, because they are going to move the goalposts at some point in time. You almost want to prepare yourself for it at this point.
Does a conspiracy theory require a malicious or malevolent actor or actors colluding to impart their evil plan upon the world or a particular group? Traditionally, we'd probably say yes. That's kind of what we think of when we think of conspiracy theories. Some sort of illegal act, a nefarious activity, some sublime evil. But I think maybe it's time we start considering the possibility that the idea of conspiracy could be a little broader. Because I think one of the reasons we see this proliferation of conspiracy theories and this consumption of conspiracy theories is because all of us are experiencing a kind of what I might call invisible dissonance. Something seems a little wrong. I'm a little anxious. I feel a little over-surveilled. I feel a little over-acted upon. I feel quite helpless in some vast sea of power players. And this might help us understand that that feeling is giving rise to these ideas of conspiracy theories, but that what's really behind it, well, is a conspiracy, but not of the traditional sort, not of a malicious actor, not of deep, inherent evil, but simply the way that technology has progressed, that we now have these global corporations whose economies are the sizes of nations, whose profits and wealth are driven primarily by algorithms which are designed to promote outrage and fabrication because that is what most devours our attention. In order to get engagement, they tickle our amygdalas in that kind of way. And the people in these companies who work for these companies and run these companies aren't necessarily bad people. They have families and kids and love their lives and are doing their best. They were doing what they thought would make the most money. And we can get into whether that's the best motive for a company or a culture or a country, but that's kind of the way things have been going. And we've accepted that. And what it's led to are devices and platforms and institutions and interactions that en masse could be seen as a conspiracy in the sense that they are all designed to disrupt your attention. They are designed to bifurcate your focus into many parts. And that is causing us anxiety. That is increasing anger, outrage. It's increasing our susceptibility to conspiracy theories. But to address this broader conspiracy is not to name simply who's to blame, or to focus our rage at some evil entity. It would be to address the part of ourselves that enables it. And it would be to address the part of ourselves in our culture, our community, our economies, our way of being that says we might need to shift our value system. If we value profit to the point where we're willing to sacrifice our own well-being so a company can thrive, maybe that's the problem. And maybe there isn't an evil entity to overcome. There is simply a reevaluation of our own belief system. Maybe. Does a conspiracy?
Nah, he's actually pretty spot on with everything he's saying. You know, we've often seen people come on these apps and say, okay, take a break. Remove yourself from it. If you feel that this stuff is getting to you, your anxiety is at an all-time high, distance yourself from it for a minute. Take a break. I've heard people take breaks from social media and come back feeling like a different person. You know what I mean? Here's a way to know if you need a break. If you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do, yawn, open your eyes, and reach for your phone, then yeah, it might be time for you to take a break, bro. If it's causing your anxiety to flare up, then yeah, it's time for you to take a break. Like, we possess the power, and that's the thing, we don't know our own strength, individually or collectively. We are powerful collectively. We just don't know it. We just don't know it. They can't manipulate us. That still is a topic of discussion of mine. I can't really say they can't because they have their ways. But, you know what I mean? It'd be really hard if we come together and decide, okay, they doing something shady. The conspiracy theories about them seem to be somewhat true. They're manipulative. They're using us for their own political or capitalistic gain. No more. No more. We're done. and we step away from it, it ceases to exist. They can't do this to us if we don't get on these apps and scroll, double tap, hit the like button, send messages, promote our business. And then somebody will pose the question, okay, well then how do we go about that? That's why we have to come together as a collective and put our heads together and figure out other ways and other avenues to do this without causing detriment to our health.
Okay, real quick. I have this theory about men and social media. If their online presence is polished and they have a well thought out Instagram, they are more than likely an and you need to run. However, if their online presence sucks and their last post was like a picture of them with a fish or a deer that they caught like 10 years ago, honestly, they're probably gold and we need to protect them at all costs. Okay, real quick. I have this.
Bro, they starting to categorize us, bro. You're being categorized by if your social media is put together and professional looking. If it's not, it might be a catch. If it is, you gotta watch out for that dude, bro. They are categorizing us.
Do not believe anything you see on social media. And I'll tell you why. It's fake. It's an illusion. The people that you think are happy, they're not happy.
That part.
Those couples that you see on social media that look like your couple goals, they're fighting more than you are with your boyfriend, your girlfriend. They're going through more. They're more miserable than you. The girls you see on social media that have the body you wish for, you dream for, the BBL, the fake body, that plastic surgery body that you like, oh my God, I want to look like her. She's more miserable and insecure than you. That guy that pretends he's rich, he's not rich. He's a brokey. Everything is fake on social media, but it's so easy to show and manipulate the viewer from the outside. I promise you, don't worry about social media. Live your life. Live in the moment. Do not believe.
I forget the name of the J. Cole song where he actually talks about that when he came to the realization that everything isn't what it seems, bro. When you have that aha moment, when you realize the people, that majority of the people you follow, this ain't their real life. They're putting up this facade, this front for social media. They ain't real, man. You know how many pictures people done figured out were fake of people posting that they're on this island or this crazy, nice looking extreme vacation, just elaborate. No, not happening. Photoshopped. They're really good at that. They have a talent in photoshopping, bro. Like, a lot of this stuff is fake. Fake. The money is fake. The lifestyle is fake. The jewelry is fake. The cars ain't theirs. It's a lifestyle being promoted, man. And it's to draw you in. And once you're drawn in, then you can purchase whatever they're selling, whether it be an ebook, a course, or whatever it is they're selling. I put up a video not too long ago about some people that were doing that, and they were scamming people.
Social media has created this whole illusion of options that people have now, as well as unrealistic expectations, because you're seeing things that aren't reality. You got women seeing these women be given lavish gifts and trips and all this stuff, and now they're looking at their man like, well, you ain't take me nowhere all year. What's going on, right? You got men looking at their girl that can't live up to the standard of the IG model or whatever and not being able to appreciate what's in front of him. You got a lot of people just getting lost in what they're seeing online, and it's distorting, again, people's perception of reality and how they approach dating and relationships. But I also think that the internet takes advantage of people's emotional state. And so with that, with now TikTok and Reels and little short clips, people are getting triggered and falling into the trap of just this clip that's completely out of context. But you take it out of context properly, you can create a whole new narrative. And now people run with that and push that, and again, just creates more chaos and nonsense in the dating world. Social media has created...
Man, social media is ruining more relationships than ever these days, bro. And for that reason, what he stated, the comparison. Oh, she ain't this. You scroll up, you see 10 baddies in a row. They built all perfect and they have this shape. And you looking at your old lady like, well, why ain't she looking like that? Why she don't do this? And then you go into the comment section, and they're telling you're starting to cling to this notion that women are supposed to be this way. And you're seeing these people respond to these posts and say, oh, this is how a person should be. Or, oh, this is how a person, if you ain't got a girl like this, you're not winning. And it starts to feed into your brain and you start to believe this stuff. Like, are you serious? And not knowing that you don't even know the personality of this person that you're believing is just this perfect woman. I bet if you met her, instantly you wish you could forget her. Attitude, or probably gold digger, or probably be stuck up, or probably be this. You don't even know. Like he said, you're going off of either a photo or a 30 to a 1 minute clip of somebody. What that told you about them that made you want to say they're the perfect woman, or they're the model woman that your woman needs to be like. Nah, I'm telling you, social media is ruining a lot of relationships, bro. It's a total comparison these days. That's all people are doing.
Teenagers out there and then TikTok influencers who think we're just old and out of touch and don't know what we're talking about, trying to take away.
You are out of touch. There are 150 million Americans on this app, 5 million businesses. That's not why we're mad. We know. We know you were paid by lobbyists to do this. We know what your stock buys look like. We know who your donors are. We know you're scared. All of you. You're scared that we're talking to each other. You're scared of the community we've built here. You are scared of us self-educating. Every time my content helps someone find a job, you lose out on a customer for your student loan machine. Every time a small business influencer teaches somebody how to start a business, you lose out on a W-2 employee that you can tax. Every time a fitness or nutritionist teaches someone on this app how to take care of themselves, you lose out on a customer for your big pharma donors. Every time we learn financial literacy on this app, we learn how you are printing our money away. We know. We know what you're doing. All of you. And we know that's why you need this app gone. We have built here together will not go away. We're listening to each other. And now we're watching you. We know.
Oh my God. Round of applause for her. I almost wanted to be like, shh. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Let us keep, coming together on it. It's becoming so powerful if y'all haven't seen it. Us coming together, figuring things out, everybody talking about things, throwing ideas back and forth, giving out information. It is becoming a force to be reckoned with. And she just broke it down so eloquently. We almost need to tell her, don't do that no more. Don't give them our plays, bro. Then they see us coming. But it's real. It is so real. I'm so happy for everybody who's pulling the plug out on themselves out of the matrix on this app or other apps.
I know I can't be the only person that thinks that those quote pages on Instagram, but they come from usually like Twitter, they're ruining our society, okay? They're ruining it. And the reason why I say that is the majority of the stuff that they post on those pages is just like so toxic, so detrimental. I'm talking about those pages like Justin LA Boy. He's a perfect example. Him, or the N-words be broke page that's on Instagram. I know y'all seen that before. But it's like, I feel like pages like that, that's why like the dating scene, friendship scene, all the scenes and stuff is messy. People are going off of what other people are saying and what they see other people like, and then they're just running with it. Like, y'all don't know what what relationships these people be having with the people that they're friends with, or their lovers, or like their family and stuff. These could be terrible people, and you're taking advice from them.
Misery loves company. It does.
And then it seems like I'll block one page and then another one will come up. And it's just so annoying. And I feel like everyone is following exact things that these pages say. Or the things that I like to say, there's always keywords now. There's a keyword that's always floating around. The keyword that's floating now is delusional. Everyone's delusional. Everyone's talking about, I'm delusional this, I'm delusional that. I first saw this like phenomenon was with the word toxic. Oh my God, if I hear that word in a sentence that it's not supposed to be in, I'm gonna scream. Everyone claims to be toxic, like, oh, I'm a little toxic, I'm this and that. You need to seek help. Seek help. There's no way that we should have people walking around in society talking about I'm toxic, and they're saying it as if it's like it's a good thing, like it's something that they should be proud of, it's a badge of honor. It's disgusting. It's also disgusting to walk around talking about you're delusional and all this stuff. It's just so stupid. It's just so annoying. There's always a trending word that's going on. Now everything for the next month or 2 months is going to be geared towards that word. Or everything that you're going to see on social media is going to be geared towards that word, because that's what's going to be pushed in the algorithm. That's what's going to get people more likes and everything. And it's stupid. This stuff is ruining our society. It really is. That's why you have people living way beyond their means. You have kids that are unaliving themselves at the age of 12 in these very, very young ages. Is because they're trying to keep up with social media and what social media is telling them what to do. I don't think people don't really understand the impact that social media has had on us as a society. Everything that is moving now basically moves off of social media. People know that if they want to make their money, they're going to have to get into content. That's where all the money is going. They're going to basically have to fall in line, basically. And something else that falls into like this same category with social media, I know I started with quotes, but it all is just dwindling into it, is like another part is like the family content. That wrap it up, because y'all having kids, not teaching them anything. Y'all having kids just solely so you can make a YouTube channel, just solely so you can get on TikTok and you make these cute little videos, but you're not taking care of your kids in real life. Or some of y'all are not taking care of your kids in videos and getting mad at people when they call you out on that.
Oh my God.
It's annoying. Y'all
Did she not hit the nail on the head with that one? I know y'all have seen it. I've seen it. It's getting out of hand.
Are creating iPad kids, y'all are creating internet kids, and y'all sitting up here wondering why these kids so bad, or wonder why, they this or that. They're a product of their environment. Y'all are literally just handing your children tablets and sending them on their way and just letting them get on the internet and see whatever at whatever age. I don't understand that. I understand completely 100% why parents do not let their kids on the internet. I understand it. Like if I had a child, my child would not have a phone until they were maybe going to school. Maybe they were old enough to handle it. And even then, if they had a phone, parental controls is going on that. Because the stuff that you see on social media is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And there's real stuff going on in the world, and the conversations that need to be had are not being had about them. Y'all still talking about 50-50. Y'all still talking about who sit in the front seat. Wrap it up. This is mainly towards the black community. Wrap it up, because it's some real stuff going on right now, and it's not being talked about. And everyone's just falling in line with this social media idea, and reality is not reality anymore. It's scary, and we got to be honest with ourselves. There's a conversation that we really, really need to have. We need to start having conversations that need to be had. I know I can't be.
I agree, man. It used to be you would look, somebody would be viewed in a horrible way. People would have something to say. Your parents would call you out. Your relatives would call you out if you were having a baby just for a check. But it seems like nowadays we see it all the time. It's a meal ticket for them to create content. Y'all have seen it. We ain't got to call out the names of the ones who doing it, but I bet if you put the names out there, we'd all say, yep, and yep. We've seen it. Like, it's unbelievable. And you say to yourself, wow, soon they're going to be having it. You can predict it. You can predict it. And to me, also another point of hers, and she made me think about, social media is pretty much what? High school reincarnated. That's the perfect way to put it. Everybody acts as if we're back in high school. And that's how they act on social media. You gotta be popular. You gotta be with the in crowd. And what the in crowd is doing, you ain't thinking for yourself. You're just thinking to be liked. Sounds like high school to me. So, but yeah, man, a lot of conversations to be had. And we'll see what happens with the word toxic. I don't think it's used as much as it once was, but it still get thrown out there a lot. Heck, I think I might have used it some, but listen, y'all get at me in the comment section, man, and let me know what you thought of this video. Stick around and stay tuned. It's the next one I'm gone.